Day 3 climbing Kilimanjaro. Day 3 was the last hike before the summit, and when I say little, it was actually very long. It was a difficult day. It went from jungles on day 1 to, you know, more of like grasslands and shrubs, but day 3 it went from grasslands to desert. They call it an Alpine desert, so it was just rocks and dirt, but surprisingly they did have one beautiful flower there. One of those flowers had already fallen off. This is an everlasting flower, is what it's called. And they're just these absolutely beautiful, beautiful flowers. That's crazy because it's a desert and it's so high up and it's a lot colder. But then there's these beautiful flowers called everlasting flowers. Man, I gotta think of some like super cool life analogy for that. Let's jump into what happened on day 3. So we left, said goodbye, and headed off on our hike. And it was actually nice. It started out pretty dang sunny, but then it would just randomly get cloudy and foggy and dark and cold, and then it would get randomly sunny again. It felt like life, right? Sometimes we go through these ups and downs. But step after step, I was really enjoying my time there, and I thought it was a really strong start to the day. We did some good hiking over to a place called Zebra Rock, which has these natural minerals that painted the rocks like a zebra. I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous. So we took a moment to just be there, explore it, and then after that we climbed up. We kind of went like a little shortcut way is what our tour guides told us, but it ended up being this beautiful overlook of Kibo Peak, which is the main Kilimanjaro peak that we were going to be hiking. But we got a beautiful view of it, and honestly the whole day we were just getting beautiful views of both Kibo Peak and Mawenzi Peak, which is the sister peak. It was just really, really cool. And halfway through the experience there was these bathrooms that we ran into, which actually looked really cool. They were kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of like a desert now, but you can see the mountain behind. We just took like a snack break, you know, used the restroom, and I even got some footage of what the restrooms look like. Everything is a squatty potty here. Very different than what you'd be used to back at home, but honestly, it wasn't too crazy. So after we checked that out, we continued on our way. When we got to that halfway point, I remember we were looking off in the distance. We're like, oh, we could see the next place we would be staying at, which was called Kibo Hut. But we thought it was a lot closer than it actually was. So when we were hiking there, we're like, oh, we'll get there soon. We're almost there. And then those, man, it just like added up, especially when you're going uphill, moving at a slower rate. It took us a while to get there, and by the time we got there, we were kind of kicking ourselves. But there was another little rest stop before we got there. They had little bathrooms again, and just this huge rock formation, which I thought was beautiful. And once again, just great views of the mountains from there. So it's a really inspiring, peaceful journey. Even got to sing with William on our way so we could get that energy going, stay pumped and excited, because that night we were going to be climbing to the peak, and that's when the real hiking began. Be ready for that next video. After a little bit, we finally made it to Kibo Hut, which we were very excited to reach. We thought it was going to be a lot shorter, but we got into our dorm space and we were pretty exhausted, not gonna lie. We had to take a rest from the time that we got there, which I believe was around like 2 or 3 p.m. We would be hiking that night, so we were gonna have to wake up around 11:30 and start hiking up the super steep summit. Little did I know that night was gonna be a night to never forget, and so make sure you watch the next video before climbing Kilimanjaro, summiting to Uhuru Peak. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.